Good morning or good early afternoon, wherever you're at. Happy Valentine's Day. I jumped on to, because I told you I would, and I went to a Galentine's Day party last night. Champagne. So I'm a little worse for wear, but this will probably be a train wreck, but we'll train wreck together, okay? So, I got my Monahan papers in, which I'm crazy about, okay? They're amazing. I have them all listed in the Ooh La La shop. Hi Nancy, hi Judy, hi Amy. You guys hold on, I forgot my pad. See, I told you, we're already off to a great start. I'll be right back. I'm coming. And because I'm not prepared, I didn't even check to see how much battery I have left. So hi Shirley, hi Linda. So I don't know. I don't know how far we're gonna get. And I don't think there's any way for me to check right now. So we'll go as long as we can, right? Hi Barbara, hi Mary, hi Anna from freezing Texas. I'm sorry, it's not real warm here, but it's warmer than it's been the last couple of days. Let me pull this up on my pad so I can, do the thing. My words are going to come very, very slowly today. Hi, Lindsay. Lindsay what is Monahan paper? I've heard it mentioned like 5 or 6 times over the past 2 days on lives. Okay, you know what? We're going to get into that in just a moment. I'm going to talk about that and, okay, I should be good to go. I should be. Hi, Rachel. I should be good to go. We shall see. We'll see. Okay, Monahan papers. Monahan papers are made in the USA, which I like. And it's a company, I'm not quite sure where they're at. I think they might be Texas, but I'm not. Hi, Mar. I'm not exactly sure, so don't quote me on that. But they print the papers to order, and they have hundreds, maybe thousands of designs. And they're this cool, like I'm going to show you the back of one. They're very cool, and they're that like crinkly kind of old. They feel old. They feel old already. So I applied to be a retailer and was accepted. And so I picked out, I don't know, I think I have 17. Hi, Joni. I think I have 17 designs. They have, excuse me, they have beautiful florals and birds and rabbits. And yes, Lindsay, it's for decoupage. But what I did was because, or mixed media, absolutely. What I did was I got things that I thought would make good backgrounds on the advice of counsel. You know who you are. So that was a great idea. It was suggested to me by someone that I trust very much. And hi, Jean. So that's what we're going to do. So what I did was I took part of, this is called Flourish Alphabet. And it's kind of aged already, but I wanted more aged. And so I took my walnut ink. You know, we talked about walnut ink in the tag videos. And I sprayed it, but I wanted to make sure I could seal it without it running. So I took a bit of the paper, the Monahan paper that I cut off of something else, and I gave it a little spray, and I just sealed that. And sure enough, it's ink, so it didn't run, it didn't smear. But you always got to, you know, I didn't want to find out in the middle of my project that I couldn't seal this walnut ink. I knew that I could, but I needed to be sure. So tested, and you can seal it. So my initial idea for this project was to build it on one of those 8x8 canvas panels and use the sunflowers and the barnwood stamp from Iron Orchid, but then my papers came. So I had to regroup. So that's what we're going to use today. We're going to use the papers. And what I'm also going to use, which is also new to the Ooh La La shop, I bought some 11 by 14 boards, and they're flat like a gallery board on the front, and they're like a shadow box on the back. So you could put molds around here for a frame and do something on the inside. So you could use it both ways. And I got the 11 by 14, and we're going to use one of these today, and they're in the shop. And they're very similar to the 6 by 8 ones, but the 6 by 8 ones are not Iron Orchid. Okay, let me see. Mar, I sealed with just my polyvine. I just sealed with my polyvine because that's what I seal everything with. So my idea, I'm going to angle you down here and show you my idea. Ugh, very excited about these papers, you guys. All right, here we go. Down next to me. Down next to me you come. Let's give the camera time to catch up. This is a this is a big piece, so it's hard to get. Let's see if I can get you far enough away that we can get a bit. Oh yeah, that's better. Get a better view. I'm gonna move this. Hi Jan. Hi Stephanie. Cheryl, Sue, Sandra. Hi everybody. Okay, so my idea is to do like a third and 2/3. So I'm going to do a third of the flourish alphabet. I like sideways letters. It's kind of my thing. So I'm going to do a third of the flourish alphabet, and I'm going to do a third of the specimens for chalkboard writing, which is very cool. It's got this flourish and all this going here. So the first thing we have to do is decoupage this to, hi Nancy, to Ambita and Michelle and Lori. We need to, and Lisa, we need to decoupage this. So I've got my little decoupage medium. I'm going to find a soft brush. I like a real soft brush for decoupage. And plastic wrap. You got to have plastic wrap, okay? Listen, y'all, if my phone dies, I literally cannot remember how much battery's on my phone. I always check, and I didn't this morning. Just give me a minute. I'll come back on. I'll plug my phone in, and I'll come back on, and we'll finish. So I want to adjust these papers so I get the most bang for my buck. Hi, Anna. She says it's rainy and cold in Georgia. Oh, there's a song like that. A perfect day to watch me create. It is a perfect day to create, or to watch someone else do it. So here's what I'm thinking. I want these two like this, and then I'm going to take big, huge sunflowers from Painterly Florals, and I'm going to, let's take it off of the, just to give you a little visual. Don't look at the leaves. And I'm going to layer them over the paper. So with stems and leaves, and I'll probably put like a dragonfly or something over here from Entomology. So that's my plan. So the first thing we have to do is get this paper on the board. Hi, Esther. Hi, Lee. Lee says she's late to the game. Where did I get the paper? The paper is Monahan paper. I've recently begun to carry it in my shop, the oolalashop.com. Not expensive. It's $4 a sheet. I think I have 17 designs right now. So the designs I'm using today are Flourish Alphabet, which I've walnut stained myself. They look a little stained, but I wanted more. And this one is called Specimens for Blackboard Writing. Okay? So what I need to figure out first is like where I want my paper to be for the most impact. So I want to make sure I get this at the bottom and this at the top. So in order to know where to cut it, I'm going to make this flush over here on this side because I know that's a straight line. So I'm going to make that flush. And what I'm going to do is just fold it here at the bottom and put a crease in it, just like that. And at the top. And then I know exactly where to cut it. Just like that. I'm going to do the same thing with this piece of paper. And now that I think about that, I'm not sure that's the best idea. But I don't want to waste paper because all these bits will be good for other things. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably cut the top and the bottom, and I'll leave this, and we'll file the side off like we do. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so I've made my little crease here, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this. And these little pieces, keep them. Keep everything. Because that's, you know, a cool little piece of something for a mixed media project or something, right? Keep everything. You never know. You just never know what's going to come in handy. Okay, so look, that's a great piece to layer with something else. So now I've got this piece, and I've got A, B, C, D, and my letters are going this way, so they're kind of easy to read. And then I'm going to cut along the bottom here. And because I've creased it, I have a nice little line. And I'm only going that far because I'm going to leave this kind of by itself. I'm not going to cut that. I'm going to file that off after we, and then I'm going to also cut this piece up top here. And when you fold it down over the frame like that, it gives you a nice edge to cut. Oh, come on. You know, I have to do it this way. I'm trying to do it so y'all can see it, but you know what it looks like to cut a piece of paper. Okay, and when I cut that all the way off, I'll even save this because that's a cool piece of something. Like you could, you know, use it like a granary stripe or something. So keep everything, keep everything, keep everything is my rule. Hi, Catherine Conhorse Fletcher. How are you? All right, so here we go. We're going to decoupage this on here. Look, I took the wall blank, the wood blank from Iron Orchid, and I just gave it one coat of, you know, my cream paint that I use all the time. My linen ruffle. Just one coat. It's not complete coverage because it doesn't matter because you're going to cover it with decoupage. So let's get our decoupage out. Put it on a plate. Decoupage is fun, it's fast, it's easy. There's a couple of tricks that make it more fun and more fast and more easy, and I'm going to share those with you now. I always start with a soft brush. I'm not even sure this brush is soft enough. Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. This is the most important thing, is a square of saran wrap, okay? Because you don't want to touch your paper with your fingers after you've begun to put on your medium because you'll rip your paper. So what I always do is attach just a small piece at the top so I have something to work with. So I'll put maybe an inch, a half an inch, just right at the top. And I will attach this lining it up, making sure the letters are the direction I want them, lining it up. And then I'm going to take my plastic and I'm going to hold it down. Okay, so now what I've done is I've attached this paper just half an inch or an inch or so at the top. It's secure. I know it's straight. I don't have any decoupage under here yet, and there's a reason for that. Now I can go and work in 1-inch segments, and I'm not going to get a lot of bubbling because I have complete control over this. So I'll take and I'll flip this back, and I'll come in with my decoupage medium, and I'll just start laying. I'll probably work in 2-inch segments. I'm just going to do my decoupage. I'm going to pull that a little bit taut, and I'm going to nice and gently rub with my paper. Yeah, Debbie, I have used bags before too, and it certainly works. Whatever's more comfortable for you. This, for whatever reason, not that it's better, it's just my preferred method. So if you want to put your hand in a baggie, that's fine. I have big hands, so my hand doesn't fit all the way into a baggie. So now we've got that going on there. I've got a couple of little wrinkles, which I'm perfectly okay with. That is part of the charm of working with decoupage. What you don't want are huge giant bubbles. You know, the wrinkles are, you know, just small. I've got small little wrinkles, you know, nothing that's going to make me cry. So now I'm going to come in and just do another couple of inches. And you can do as much or as little as you like, as you feel comfortable with. If it's your first rodeo, stay with 1-inch segments, you know, and just push your paper back and just stay with the 1-inch segments, okay? I've done this many, many times, so I feel comfortable using more, putting down more all at once. Yeah, I'm really thrilled with this paper. It decoupages very, very nicely. Very happy. I waited a long time for this paper, you guys, because they print to order, so it takes a long time. It took like 5 or 6 weeks to get it in. It was a long wait for someone that's impatient. Okay, so now we're all the way down to the bottom. There's an overhang there that I don't really want. And you know what? My piece of paper is a little bit crooked. I can see now that I'm at the bottom, I've got a little bit of white here. I'm not going to sweat that, because I'll go in at the end of the project and I'll maybe, you know, do some paint or take some walnut ink and put it on a Q-tip and kind of fade this in. So little things like that, don't let it stop you in your tracks, because it's not a big deal, okay? You can always fix things. At least I have found that you can always fix things. Okay, so yeah, that looks beautiful. Very nice. I got a nice adhesion going here. And you can, at this point, you can take lightly with your hand and see if you've got any issues. But the longer this paper stays on this moisture, the more delicate it becomes, and it is easy to tear decoupage. So you do have to be very, very mindful of that. So there, we've got that piece done. Now we're going to come back in with this piece, and I'm going to overhang it just a hair. I'm excited about this piece, you guys. I think it's going to look really cool. So again, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to just attach a 1-inch line right at the top. And to stand up for this, just to make sure it's where I want it to be. Okay, that works for me. Now I'm just going to use my paper to push that down. Now this paper is considerably thicker than napkins, which, you know, most of us are used to working with decoupage. It's considerably thicker, which means you're probably going to get a little more wrinkle, a little more texture, but that's not a bad thing in my book. I don't mind a little wrinkle, a little texture here and there. I do not mind that at all. I think it looks amazing. So I'm just coming back over here, giving it another push. I can see that because this is, hold on. This is my first time decoupaging with this stuff, you guys, so we're learning together, okay? I know other people do it, so why can't we do it? Okay, so now I'm just gonna keep doing what I was doing. So I think with those giant sunflowers layered over this, I think it's going to be quite stunning. Okay. Smooth everything right down. Make sure my seam gets nice and smooth. This is quite different than napkins. Napkins almost melt when you decoupage them. This is considerably heavier, and it's buckling a little bit, which not even a big deal. Doesn't concern me at all. I've got a really cool kind of a line right here that I'm just making sure is all nice and pressed, and all that does is give me some texture, which I am not mad about at all. You know me and texture. I like my texture. So just work all your bubbles out best you can and move on down the line. What I'm doing, which is not a great idea, is I'm taking my brush full of medium and putting it right across the front of the project, which is danger, danger. I don't suggest doing that, you guys. Okay. Oh, this is going to be luscious. I already love it. Barbara's asking me if they're thinner than posters. Yes, they're considerably thinner than a poster, but thicker obviously than a napkin, because napkins are practically like, I don't know, invisible, right? Once they get that medium on them, they just kind of melt into whatever you're putting them on. This is considerably thicker, and it's doing it's doing things that a napkin would not do, which I don't hate. Not even concerned with that. I'm getting some cool texture in here, and I'll show it to you when I get this all. Just keep working it. Keep smoothing things out to the best of your ability. If you get little seams and stuff, if you smooth them out, they look really cool. They almost look like pleats in the paper, if that makes sense. So I'm not the least bit upset about that. All right, we're in the home stretch, you guys. Little bit there. So these papers, when they get wet, these particular Monahan papers, what I'm finding, because it's my first time working with them, is they want to kind of shrivel up and kind of buckle and bend, and that's perfectly fine with me. I don't have an issue with that. I just know that I've got to gently go in and press all that stuff out. And by virtue of the fact that they're a little bit thicker, you can apply a little bit more pressure. Like if I went back and forth like this over a napkin, it'd be shredded by now, wouldn't it? I mean, it wouldn't be, you can't rough up a napkin like this because they're just so delicate. So Let says if you spray the back of that paper with nylon sealers and let it dry, you won't get a lot of wrinkles. I'm not sure what that means, but I'm going to look into that. But here's my thought on wrinkles, and it's the kind of the same way I feel about cracks in clay. I like that. I'm not interested in pristine. I'm not interested in perfect. I want, because most of my stuff is aged. You know, if my aesthetic was different, then you know, maybe I'd want everything to be perfect. I don't want everything to be perfect. So these little creases that I'm getting here make my heart happy. I'm absolutely good with that. And I've also seen the thing, you know, where you can decoupage, where you can iron, which gives you an absolutely perfect wrinkle-free. I mean, it's like perfect. But then you got to seal it, and it gets wet again, and it starts to buckle and bubble. And I've tried it many times, and I've never been able to get it right. So I don't do it anymore because it's frustrating, and the result is not good for me. So maybe other people have figured it out. I ain't figured it out. I go with stuff that works for me, because I want this to be fun. I don't want to stress. This is fun stuff. This should be fun. So I'm just making sure that this edge is going to be nice and adhered, because I'm going to sand that down gently. And I want to save this big piece of paper, because that's, you know, that's gold right there. That stuff you can use on other projects. So what I'm gathering from my first effort with Monahan papers is that it takes a little bit more elbow grease than a napkin. Napkins are so easy. This takes a little bit more work. I love the results. I love the way it looks. I'm not unhappy about that at all. And I'm going to show you here a couple of the little lines that I have, and you'll see what I mean by not being upset about that at all. It just adds another layer of interest as far as I'm concerned. Okay, I'm loving that. Go over here and press a little bit more over here. I love this alphabet. I thought it was so pretty. And see, my walnut ink did not smear. It didn't even move. And by virtue of the fact that it was ink, I didn't think it was going to, but I wanted to make sure. I didn't want to do a whole project and then have this stuff start to smear once it got wet, right? Amy wants to know how it compares to rice paper. I think rice paper is just slightly more thick than napkins. So rice paper, again, super easy to decoupage. So it's thicker than rice paper for sure. But I love what's happened here. I'm very happy with it. I'm going to hold it up to the camera sideways so you can kind of see some of this texture that I have. And what's going to be cool is when I start rubbing those transfers over this, it's going to be very cool. I'm really happy about this, you guys. Okay, so here, I'm going to hold this up and see if you can't tell. I don't even know if you'll be able to tell. Can you see where there's some, okay, like maybe right here. That looks like a bubble, but it's not. It's very flat. It's just kind of like a crease. Like, look, there's some here too. They're like creases. Very cool. I'm a happy girl. Happy, happy, happy. Because I've got lots of texture, which we know is something that we're always trying to get, is more texture. More texture, please. Okay. Listen, I want to tell you, when you go, if you go look at the papers at the oolalashop.com, they're $4 a piece, so they're not expensive, and they weigh literally nothing. But if you buy one piece of paper, you're still going to pay a crazy amount of shipping, because I only ship priority, because in this crazy time of postal service, we have to have tracking on everything or everybody's going to be unhappy. So my suggestion to you is, if you want to buy paper, wait till you also need to buy some other things, and then the papers really kind of ship for free because they don't weigh anything. Unless you're going to go in and buy 10 papers, then it's worth it, you know. But just to buy 1 or 2 papers, I would probably wait until I could order other things. But that's just me. That's just my frugal side coming out. Okay, I'm just pressing. I'm just pressing because it's still a little damp, and I want to make sure that this is just so adhered to the paper, and I want to make sure that I don't have any bubbles. I don't mind creases, but I don't want bubbles. And that's what the plastic is for. You can go over and over and over. Okay, so my maiden voyage with Monahan papers has been a success as far as I'm concerned. What I'd like to do is I'm going to turn the blow dryer on and hit this edge real quick so we can sand it off, so bear with me. Looking good, you guys. So what's going to happen is I'm going to seal this, and then that's going to have to be the end of the video, because I want this to be bone dry, because here's what's going on. I've got a layer of Mod Podge that's still damp. I can feel it. When you touch something and it's cold, that means it's still wet. And then I'm going to put another layer of wet on top of it. And then if I went and tried to transfer over that, I don't like my chances of getting a great result, because there's gases that release, you know, when paint's drying, when solvents are, not solvents, but like top coats are drying and stuff. It gives off gases that can get trapped under those transfers and make them do weird things. So best practice is to always let it be bone dry. And I could probably transfer on this without sealing it, but it's not best practice, so I'm not going to do that. The best practice is to top coat it. Those top coats have just a little bit of a kind of a sticky kind of thing to them that transfers love, and they stick really, really good. I'm looking for my little files so I can file off this. Maybe I'll just use this. This is just a flat, like a sanding block with a piece of paper on it. But it's, oh, Catherine set her timer for 1 o'clock. Honey, I sent you a message to tell you I was going earlier, but I guess you didn't get it. I'm sorry, sweetheart, but it's there. It's there. You can watch replay. All right, so I'm going to take this sanding block, and the word sanding is not really the word I want to use. All I want to do, I don't want to go back and forth. I don't want to go up and down, because I don't want to fray this paper, okay? I want to come right on the edge of that and pull straight down, just on the edge. And then, as you can see, I'm going to get a perfect edge. Hi, Sandy from Florida. Okay. Hi, Lisa. So I'm just very gently taking my time. There's no rush. And I'm just getting right on that knife's edge of that paper. And I'm going to have a beautiful, look at that. That could not be a more beautiful straight edge. That's why it's super important to get that that Mod Podge product right to the very edge, and make sure that edge is really sealed down. Because when you do this, you want to make sure that, you know, like if there was a bubble there, if it wasn't perfectly adhered, you could get some fraying, or, you know, something that you didn't like. So it's, when you're going to do your edges this way, it's important that you've sealed all the way to the edge. And then you can just kind of, always in one direction, don't go nuts. Bam. We have a perfect, beautiful edge. Look at that edge. I mean, it couldn't be more perfect. It's absolutely perfect. Yes. Hi, Alice. Alice says she loves the paper. I love the paper too. I'm super excited about this paper. I'm very excited about this project. It's something new, which I love. I love having something new. So, and I wanted to use a couple of papers, because that's my idea, is to layer these papers and let them do. Now, in that picture that I'm looking at right now, I can see, like across here, some of those little ripples. And I am not concerned with that at all, because practically the whole face of this thing is going to be covered with transfers. And even if it wasn't, that still wouldn't bother me. It just doesn't bother me. I like it. It's texture. So I have no problem with that whatsoever. Boy, we got a beautiful result here. So, do you seal before putting on the paper? Amy wants to ask. No, Amy, I did not. I did not seal it. I put it right over the paint. I don't think that there's a reason to do that. So we can't adhere any of this stuff, but we can sure play with it and see what it looks like right now. We'll have to do that in our next meeting. We'll put these on, but look, here's my idea. I want to do something like this, like with these sunflowers kind of peeking across both parts. And then I'm going to do tons of leaves down in here, and I'm going to do another, where's that little bitty sunflower? I'm going to do another kind of a smaller sunflower under here. Be very delicate when you're doing stuff like this. It's not a great idea to do this, but I'm making sure I don't press on anything. I'm just laying these down so obviously I'll put this small guy down first because I want to do like some layering like this. It's gonna look so good. And then I have a big stem that I'm going to use. This is going to be beautiful. I'm keeping this. I already know I'm keeping this. This is going in my kitchen somewhere. Something else is going to have to move out because I'm running out of wall space. But yeah, this is beautiful. You know, my colors, green and black and tan. So now I need a big, huge stem. So I'll have a big stem that comes down. I'll have a big stem that comes down from this guy, probably like over here, or maybe, oh, what do you think of that? Maybe to kind of marry the two papers together. And then I'm just laying this down rough, y'all, just so you can get an idea. Then I'm going to have lots and lots and lots of leaves that come out. I'm going to do a lot of leaves like this. And like this. Look at that. That's going to be amazing. Super happy about this. Just leaves everywhere. And then, so I might move this over a little bit, but that's kind of basically the placement I'm thinking of. And then, look how beautiful that is. Then I'm going to take my entomology transfer. I'm going to get it right now. Hold on. Oh, what you know, it's not out here. Anyway, the entomology transfer has bugs, you know, bugs and frogs and birds and stuff. And I saw on there that there's a dragonfly, and so I'm probably going to put like a dragonfly up here. So I'm very happy with that. That's going to be beautiful when it's done. I can see a lot of shine on the, and of course it'll be way more leaves. I'm going to pack this with leaves, lots and lots of leaves. But I think that looks amazing. I've got my little alphabet over here, kind of my alphabet sampler, and I've got a little bit of that chalkboard writing up here, and I just think it looks really, really cool. Very cool. Nancy says she's not usually a sunflower girl, and you know what? I'm not either. But these sunflowers in this transfer are beautiful. I took these sunflowers and put them on a big black pumpkin in the fall, and I've kind of been in love with them ever since. So yeah, I'm a fan. So see, I'm going to have lots and lots of leaves. There's going to be leaves everywhere, all kind of overlapping each other. Yeah, lots of leaves. Pretty. And I might do something down here. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where it takes us. I think it's going to take us in all kinds of really good directions. So now I've cut all these leaves off of here. I don't remember where they go. I want to make sure that they don't stick to something they're not supposed to. So that's my thing, you guys. That's kind of where my head's at today. This turned out really nice. I got a very, very nice result with my new Monahan papers that I'm very happy about. I bought papers, and I have ideas for every one of the papers. So that's kind of, it's going to be a Monahan paper palooza, because that's what we're going to be working with for a while, is those Monahan papers, because I've got lots of papers and I have ideas for all of them. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing. You know, I like lots of layers, and this is a way to get a lot of layer without stamping. Now you're putting, although I love to stamp layers, that's totally a thing for me too. Now that I mention it, I might come down here in the corner or along the edges here, and I might stamp some Crackle-Or. I don't know. We'll just have to see. That could actually happen. So that's my deal for today, was just getting those, hi Donna, was just getting those papers out and seeing what they were going to do and how they were going to react. And I'm super happy with the way this went down. I'm very, very happy about this. I've got I've got a lot of interest. I've got some, I mean, let's just call it what it is. They're wrinkles, but they're not awful. They're very cool. They add another layer of interest. So here's our board. This is the board that we did. I took the Monahan Flourish alphabet and I cut it like a third of it off, and I sprayed it with walnut ink. And then I took the, what's it called? Specimens for Chalkboard Writing, and I cut 2/3 of that and married those together. And then we're going to do a whole sunflower situation here. We'll do a little dragonfly up here. Well, we'll do something with the edges. We'll age the edges and stuff. So this is going to be lots of fun, and we're off to a really good start. So let's talk about, if you give me 5 minutes, I will go into, I usually do this before I start my live, but we've already determined I'm kind of compromised today. So give me a few minutes before you order, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to put Painterly Florals on sale for 10% off, okay? But give me a minute after this ends, because it takes a minute for me to set up that discount. And all the Monahan papers are in there. You can search Monahan, and they'll all come up together, because I started each one with the word Monahan, so you can see them boom, 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 one right after the other. The wood planks are in there. Listen, you can also do this on a smaller wood plank. You can do it on a 6x8. You could do it on an 8x8. You don't have to do a whole huge thing. Like, you could easily take this part and make it 8x8 and still have the impact of all this. It's just a little bit smaller. And then look at all the paper you'd have left for other projects. Yeah, so Carrie says, if you don't care for wrinkles, you can use a hairdryer and go lightly over the piece, or wait and see if it lays down. Yes, that's true. Sometimes after things are bone dry, you go back and you're like, where's those wrinkles? They disappear by themselves. They absolutely do. Sometimes they don't. And if this piece stays the way it is right now, I'm a happy, happy girl, because I love the way it looks. I like, you know, I just like it. I like it kind of not perfect. Well, that's not the right thing to say. It's perfect to me. This is perfect to me. I love this. I love, love, love this. So that's it, y'all. That's it for me today. I'm going to go, I'm going to go have some lunch, And so the wood planks and the canvas boards and the papers, everything's over in the oolalashop.com. Give me 5 minutes to go put the Painterly Floral transfer on sale for 10% off today for 24 hours. And I want to see what Shirley just said. Instead of a transfer, the monarch mold has a large and small dragonfly that might add a bit of different. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So Donna says she sprays the back of her Monahan papers with shellac to avoid wrinkles. Well, there you go. That's the second person that has said that. A long time ago when I painted furniture, I remember doing that for furniture tops when I would decoupage posters. I sprayed the back. So I do know that that's a thing, and I do know it works. Kind of like this. I'm not angry. I'm not angry about this. So I probably won't take that extra step, but the option's there for y'all if that's what you want, you know. Jill, you haven't missed anything, honey. You can go back and watch it. So that's it for me today. Give me a minute to go to the shop and give a little discount on the Painterly Florals. And that's it for me today. Happy Valentine's Day. My husband got me lovely flowers because he wants to sleep here tonight. He knows what to do. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. I'll talk to you soon. Maybe we'll wrap this up tomorrow. Okay, bye. Happy crafting. Oh, no, I don't like crafting. Happy creating. Crafting sounds like we're making knitting pot holders or something. Happy creating. Not that there's anything wrong with pot holders. Full disclaimer, I like pot holders. All right, you guys. Happy Valentine's Day. See y'all later. Bye.